Welcome to the stage select screen. This time we only have one place we can go to, but we'll get more options later, obviously. So let's start. As soon as we start, we can come over here to talk to the White Rabbit, who tells us that we can go to the tutorial to practice our tongue and body controls. But that's okay, we know how to control our body, we're a big boy. And with that somewhat brief introduction, welcome to the world of Chameleon Twist. It's just a mysterious wonderland. This is a crown. We're going to need to collect them for a very special reason. Not necessarily an important reason, but a special one. In this game, there isn't really an attack button. We suck up enemies with our tongue, and then we spit them back out. We can press the B button to spit out all the enemies we're holding, or the Z button to spit out one at a time. These crowns are going to get more well hidden as the game progresses. We can use our tongue to latch onto poles, and traverse horizontally across the environment like so. Please note that our tongue under no circumstances will be able to pull us upward. We can only move horizontally with it. We'll get to upward movement later. This lily pad area is just to teach you how to use the poles to your advantage. There's no penalty for falling into the water. Up here's another crown. The stage has 25 of them. We're not going to collect all of them, but I'll collect enough to show you everything interesting. We can move our tongue in any fashion we can move the analog stick. Like that. So if you can imagine moving the analog stick a certain way, you can move your tongue that way, even causing it to overlap. In order to jump higher, we need to balance on our tongue and press the jump button right as the tongue bends us backward, so that way we swing forward and upward with maximum momentum. We don't need to use that move too much in this level. We need to use it a few times, but it's mostly going to come in handy way later. Up here we have a bit of a predicament. There are two hedgehogs, but we can't skewer them both at the same time. We have to take them out separately. Carefully. Now why is this? It's because our tongue can't go through the crown. We have to touch the crowns ourselves. We can't use our tongue to do the dirty work for us. This makes them a lot more interesting to collect. Up here we have a waterfall with some fishies, and we can take the fishies into our mouth and spit them back out. But hey, what was that? The fish didn't explode when it touched the waterfall. Let's try that again. It went in the waterfall. And so can we. Yeah, the game is not above hiding some of its crowns like this, but if you pay close enough attention, you'll be able to find them either way. Now right here is two paths. We're going to take the upper one, where we need to use our tongue to platform with. Hey, I see a shadow on the ground there. Let's zoom out. Oh, another crown! We could have very easily missed it if we didn't notice that shadow. Thankfully we did. Alright, so we managed to reach the top with the upper path, but what was on the lower path? You know, there might have been goodies down there. Thankfully there's this staircase. And we can see there's a crown we missed. But not anymore, we got it. Thankfully we can stick all these things in our backpack. It looks like a kind of small backpack, but we seem to be holding them somewhere. Here's a box, we can't do anything with it, but I can show you that we can jump and use our tongue at the same time. This bridge collapses behind us, but it collapses very slowly, so I wouldn't worry so much about it. If you really want to, you can walk on the ropes on the sides. Here's something else we can do with our tongue. If we press A after we latch onto a pole, we can swing around it like that. Again, we can only swing horizontally, though. Now, I hear you saying, man, this shooting enemies at other enemies thing seems really cool, but I hate that you can only aim while moving. Well, fear no longer. You can aim while standing still by holding the R button. The game even gives you a reticle and highlights the enemies for you so you know who you're going to hit. It's pretty dandy. So if you ever need to aim precisely in this game, please remember that, you know, moving around while firing is definitely not your only option. So this next room has a lot of new stuff for us to learn about when we get there. Here we go. First of all, we can see enemies across this dangerous pathway that'll collapse if we walk on it. But we can use our tongue to get them ahead of time. Now we see different colored hearts here, but we haven't taken damage yet. But you know, some of these jumps can be tricky, so... What if we just mess up? And what if we keep messing up? Eventually, we learn to take a new approach to the situation by doing a high jump and then using our tongue. Much easier that way. But oh no, we only have 1 health left. Now what will we do? You might remember that the hearts are different colors. The red heart only refills one of our health units, but the yellow one refills a whole 3. So we're not quite good as new, but we may as well be. I assume those hearts are in that room specifically for that reason. So inevitably there will be some enemies that we can't suck up with our tongue. And we need to shoot other enemies at them in order to get rid of them. Remember again that you can aim while standing still by using the R button. It should make getting rid of these big enemies a lot easier. And usually the room supplies you with smaller enemies to use. Somewhere, you may have to look. Damn, that's a lot of porcupines down, or hedgehogs? There's a lot of pointy things down there, we better not fall. Let's swing around the pole using that technique we learned earlier. No problem. This room we're on a minecart ride. I assume this is to get you used to the way the camera rotates. After we reach the end, the cart falls down. So we need to keep that in mind as we ride this one. The cart does hang in the air for a second before it goes down, so you have a moment. There we go, that's not so bad. Now this pathway is rather narrow, so we can press lightly on the analog stick to walk if we want to. And after we make our way to the end, we can walk up this wooden pathway to get to a crown that we couldn't earlier. No matter how hard we tried, we wouldn't be able to get to it from up there. It's just too big a gap. Alright, let's head our way back. We're near the end by now, actually. Oh no! That's okay, this is a good excuse to show you a shortcut I learned as a child. There we go. Easy as pie. The next room is the last room before the boss battle, and there's really nothing in it, though it is impressive visually, I suppose. Kinda scary. Let's get the last crown before the end of the level, and let's go see what this boss has in store. Now, we obviously can't just use our tongue to damage this big guy, but there are butterflies sitting around. And the butterflies don't damage him either, but they do push him back. And, well, there is a giant cliff back there. Alright, so that was it for the first stage, and we go back to the stage select screen, and next time we'll take on Ant World. We have a choice of 2, but we'll be doing them in the order they are numbered. I'll see you next time.